Hey, what's up, y'all? I just woke up and there's a bunch of people. I noticed there's like a bunch of people that aren't able to do Rust 3D because all the tutorials are outdated right now. Mainly because of a set studio. There's a new version that everybody needs. It's on the Discord, the Hue 3D Discord. I think it's on NoLife's Discord as well. I'll link both of the Discords in the description. Basically, what you're gonna want to do, you're gonna download that and open the exe in it. Let me find the file and show you what it looks like here. It'll be this file right here. I have it just pinned to my desktop, so I can do it instantly. But yeah, we'll open up this. If this is your first time doing it, you'll need to extract the Rust folder. So if you go to Steam, Steam apps, common, find Rust right here. You can do Rust staging as well. This will work for Rust staging, but I'm just going to do Rust as this example here. And then you're just going to select shared, right? That, like that, right? So the folder select is shared. You're going to select that. It's going to ask you, I already selected mine, so I'm not going to do it right now. But you can select yours. Then select a new folder. You can make a new folder on your desktop or your downloads, wherever it's easiest for you. I would suggest desktop, because my downloads tends to get pretty full when I do 3D. So I'd select desktop, make a new folder there for the Rust extract. You can just name it Rust extract. Then what you're gonna do is go load folder, go wherever you put it. Here in my case, I have in my downloads, I'm pretty sure. Rust new extract, that's what I have mine as. It should spit out a bunch of this. So I'm gonna select that. It's gonna take a minute to load, or 2 minutes to load. And see it's loading here. Also, a huge problem people will have, please pay attention to this. You have to download the one off the Discord or find the GitHub for the other one. The official set studio will not work. It won't work at all. Like, I don't know what it is. People were saying that they changed the shaders or something. I don't know if that's true for the most recent version, but the last version that we had to change it was because of the shaders. I don't know, it's different now, but it won't work unless you use this version. So only use this version. Or I mean, you can try the versions if you want. I'm also pretty sure you need to have .NET 8 installed to use it. So download .NET 8 if you don't have it. It'll be pretty easy to find yourself. I'm also gonna go over what to do if you're just joining the Discord. You can, in the Hue 3D, if you scroll down, there is an Asset Studio. There's a Rust tools, and there's some Rust sets and stuff in there if you need those. But mainly the Rust tools in Asset Studio. That's what you're gonna need. The Asset Studio is where you can find this, which is what I've been talking about, and the Rust tools. You can download it right now. You're gonna scroll to the not to the very top, but until you find. For me, there could be a later version when you're watching this. For me, it's 3.3 beta. That's the most recent version that Lenoka's released. He's the most, or he's the artist of Rust Tools, or the creator. Um, so you're gonna download that, and we're gonna use that later. Here, I can show it right here. It's gonna be this one. I'm probably not gonna edit this at all either. So yeah, I don't know. So you can do with that what you will. Download that. Download. You can do the normal maputil.py. Oh, like in other tutorials, like in some other older ones, like by Henry Hopkins and people like that, they're gonna say to use game image util. Game image util, I don't believe it works anymore. Based on what other people are saying it doesn't work, unless that's just a glitch. That was an old glitch. But you're not gonna need to use that anymore. There's way easier ways of doing it. Like you can use Rust tools here, which I'll show you how to install this. Oh, this is different Rust tools. It'll look like this. You're gonna want to take all these, by the way, no matter what. And then you can oh, what was I just about to say? Oh yeah, you can append node group. say this is what I'm skinning. I'm gonna go over this later as well. New material. Say this is what I'm skinning. This is the normal map, right? Basically, what the normal map does is it adds like a 3D layer, even though it's flat, to the object. So, I'm trying to think of an example. Say the object is like completely flat, but you want to add a brick texture. The lighting will react like it's a 3D object, but if you look to the side, it will be completely flat. So it will look like a brick texture, but if you view it from the side, it will be completely flat. So it just adds a lot more detail. Normal maps are created by a higher poly map over the lower poly map baked down onto it, um, to basically create an illusion that it has more geometry than it actually does, and to give it more detail. And it's optimized in games, so it doesn't lag nearly as much. Even though Rust is a very laggy game, I believe they do actually pretty well to optimize their game. There's just lots of things in the game where most people's PCs can't handle it properly. Um, so yeah, that's basically it for that. For normals, I'll just explain everything. Actually, I think this loaded. I'll explain everything else later. The asset list is what you're gonna kind of want to use to search for things if you can't find them immediately in scene hierarchy. So let's say I'm going for the player model. I would actually do that in scene hierarchy right here. I'm gonna tell you why, because it's just a lot easier to find it. Um, all that the player model is player model. Okay, that's just, it's gonna be like that forever. See, some things will pop up like this. This is not the player model. You can see the main object is hunting trophy small, which I don't know why that shows at first, but here we go. Now you can see the main thing is player model. This is going to contain everything. I'm not going to import the player model as an example this time. I don't really feel like exporting it all and then setting it all up right now, as I've already done it multiple times. But if you export that, put it in Blender, you're going to see there's a lot of, the face is going to look really weird. That's because there's a bunch of different races and genders of people on it. So if you're only going to want one, then you need to delete all of them. This is where Henry Hopkins' tutorial might come in. I don't know if he sets up the player model in it. I guarantee if you search up setting up player model in Rust, there's gonna be a video that pops up, so you should watch that if you're specifically gonna do that. Um, but you delete it all besides one face, and it will look normal. Also, if the eyes aren't sticking, or the eyelashes aren't sticking, or the eye wetness aren't sticking, or anything, you parent those as bone. The difference between parenting as bone and parenting as armature deform, which parenting as armature deform is what you're gonna want to do if you're parenting clothes per se to a human, which is Control P on your keyboard. Let me do an example. Let me pull up. Let's say it's Full Metal. You might not even need to do this anymore because Rust Tools actually added a thing. So I'll show you how to use that as well. And then say I import jackets. Jacket needs a lot of correction, by the way, so I'm not going to do that right now, though. Alright. Yeah, the textures are fucked on the jacket. Rust Tools doesn't work for the jacket. There is some items that it won't work for, unfortunately, because they use masks and stuff, which Rust Tools can't automatically do. Hide this. And some things do need manual positioning. Import. This one has an origin at feet, I believe. Okay, so you can pose it just like that, right? And it works pretty well. You're gonna have to do a little bit of manual correction. Pretty well. Yeah, you're gonna have to do manual correction. Yeah. So this will need a bit of manual correction. I don't know if it's gonna be different. We can test it with Rust tools. So this is what you're gonna want to do if you just have the armature, right? When it imports, it's kind of fucked. Actually, I don't know if this is gonna work. It might not work for this specific model, but you can do like that. Oh yeah, that works because the origins at feet. Okay, and it will automatically set it up for you like this. You wouldn't have the you wouldn't have the chest plate on at the same time. So boom, and that's actually correct. That looks better than what I did. but you'll still have to correct it manually. You can do it just by doing this. Tick that. Make sure you tick that. Boom, like that. Okay. So whatever models you need, you can export in the Set Studio. You tick it, model, export selected object split. I'm not going in kind of the proper order, but I didn't make any scripts or anything for this. I'm just kind of going at it. So that's how you're gonna export it. Then you're gonna select the folder where you export and stuff, right? So that's it. Then you import it with Rust tools. I'm gonna go over if it imports improperly, what to do. So you can see that the jacket imported improperly. I'm not gonna, the jacket isn't a good example, but I'll just explain what to do. So in the folder that you export the things to, here, let me just find an example. Here we go. Arctic. There's a bunch of things. That's gonna be too complicated. The ball club is also complicated. Actually, I don't know if ball club is, but I'm gonna go find a simple model. Combat knife, for example. Okay. Ignore all these skin models. These are for the arms that'll import it, which you can just delete. Um, it comes with the albedo, the AO, the normal, and the specular. These are for all the simple models. If you import like something else, it might be different. And also the player model will not extract with textures. You can find textures in the set list by setting your filter type to material, and you can search out like female. I have materials. Oh, I'm stupid. You have to don't set it to material. You need to set it to texture 2D. You can find it. There's gonna a bunch of different textures here, which is why it's better when it normally just exports correctly. But that one's corrected already. That's weird. But you can find all the textures there. You can search female, male, dark, like anything. Just go to there if you need to export it. The night albedo. This is the base color. This is equivalent to the base color. So we'll just set. I'm just gonna open a new blend file so I can show this. Rust tools. Okay, you can't see anything right now. Let me just delete that. Okay, see how it imports like a bunch of different things as well. Let me put a light in here. It looks like actual shit right now, but a little bit of correction. Maybe I'll use this for the thumbnail as well. Okay, this is good enough. Oh, it is in better light. Okay, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Actually, I don't like the angle though. That's a cool angle. Yeah, that's not a cool angle. Whatever. I'm just gonna continue with the tutorial. Um, what you're gonna want to do is you can go to the shader editor here. Also, if you have any problems before coming and asking a bunch of people, just search up tutorials. I guarantee you can find something. I get how it is starting. I started like a year and a half ago. It can be difficult when you're just starting, but uh, you'll probably find better help on just searching on YouTube than if you go to the Discord for a lot of stuff. As you can see, it's using the Rust shader here. This will import if it imports properly. When you're importing from your files with the Rust tools. If it imports with a printable BSDF, I'm just gonna give a rundown of the printable BSDF because it's pretty easy to explain as well. The albedo is the color that's going to be projected onto the item. So you can see it just shows the color. Like this is all the color on it, right? The alpha of the color. This is if you're using any texture like a hair or something, it will show the alpha of it. The specular, you plug that into the IQR level under specular. You're gonna have to untick that. The tint, I know people do plug in the tint a lot. I don't know if it makes a huge difference. I just do this normally, but I don't normally use the principal BSDF anyway. This is just explaining the principal BSDF. But so you plug in the specular to IQR level, transmission, um, like this stuff you don't really need, unless you're doing some glass textures or something like that. Normal, you can plug that in. You can see it's fucked right now. So if you're using the principal BSDF, if you're using Rust tools, you will not need this. But Rust tools will import with a XY normal map. Oops, did not mean to put that. XY normal map. You can put that in there. That's gonna go first, and then you need to put a normal map after. This will switch it from a red color to the blue color, which the blue color is ideal when making uh any textures or anything. The normal map will just I don't know what this does, but it makes it work. As you can see, the difference without the normal map, huge. Like it makes it look way better. Look at, you can see what I mean by 3D geometry. This is not actually here. This divot, it gives the illusion. Actually, there is a little divot, but it's not. Actually, no, there isn't. Yeah, it's just like that. Trying to think of what else. Roughness. I don't know if I already went over roughness. It will basically just control the roughness. That's about it. Get really, really liquidy looking, glassy looking. Really rough looking. No reflection. Normally, you want to balance in between. Looks shiny. That's a little bit too shiny. The roughness and the specular kind of go hand in hand. The specular will control the light values of the not rough parts, or actually it works on rough parts as well. But like you can see what happens to this if I turn it manual. Look at less, it's less light kind of color, even though it's the same lights. Reacts more light when I put it up. Okay. Trying to think what else. Yeah, so that's basically texturing. That's all you're gonna need to know for texturing for Rust textures. With the Rust tools, if it imports it properly, it'll just be, it'll be fine. It'll be plugged in like this. Plug in everything where it literally says you can see the specular. And you don't have to use any of this normal map stuff on Rust tools. If the normal maps look weird, you're probably using a skin or something and you need to turn the Unity end map down to 0. But if you're not, then leave it, because it basically just does what I did with the normal map stuff here. So normal map alpha. Also, normal map, make sure it's set to non-color. Same for the A. I don't know about the AO. I normally actually do AO with full color, I think. I don't think there's any benefit from using AO with non-color, but I could be wrong. I guess it doesn't really matter though, because AO maps are just black and white. I don't know. Okay. I don't think what else. That's basically it for texturing overall. You can turn the AO strength up here. You're probably gonna want to have it at 1. That's probably it overall for us tools. If you have any questions, you can join the Discord. That's about it. Yeah, and search for other tutorials before asking questions, because I guarantee for most problems that you have, there's gonna be a tutorial, like importing bases, importing monuments. Pretty sure there's already videos for that. This is the most updated guide. Uh, join the both Discords. These two. Oh, here. All right. I'll see you.